all your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the WeBook It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my singles and tag teams compares. I am your host for the Friday Night Throwdown, Lowdown, Hoedown. Add whatever adjectives, verbs, nouns, pronouns, whatever English stuff you want to add to it. Add it to it. I am the one they call the freaky one, Fritos, the host of the show. And also, as you can tell, my name kind of changed. I used to be the Booker of the Year, but Big Daddy C stole that from me at Backlash. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're all concerned, but I will get that back at Money in the Bank when I go 6-0, 7-0, whatever the card is. I am going to win that title back for you. And as you can tell, I'm by myself, and the Rhea Ripley cutout does not count as a person. That'd be weird. I'm not going to say that. But I'm riding solo tonight. And just like me riding solo, that's how we started tonight's episode on Friday Night SmackDown with Solo, the newest member to the Bloodline, Jeff Cobb, who kind of got a new name change to JC Mateo, and Jacob Fatu. Solo is basically cutting in a promo saying he's the reason why him and JC are the reason why Fatu remained and kept his title, and how he's going to bring glory back to the Bloodline as he's entering tonight's match to qualify for the Money in the Bank. And during that promo, Solo is kind of showing some old Roman tactics, that gaslighting, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, and just almost used most of Jacob's catchphrases until Jacob took the mic and just started going in at him. Then Solo basically just saying, "You've changed," and just you can feel the tension just build up between you two. This feud's been building up, and hopefully we get this soon. And I'm assuming SummerSlam, because I am still booking here. Yeah, see, I can still do that even though I don't have the title. It's gonna happen at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. But after that, during that, we get a surprise entrance from one LA Knight who is still ticked about losing his United States Championship, and also to Jacob Fatu, but also at WrestleMania, but also losing the chance at Backlash. He comes out and starts attacking everyone, and basically he runs off, and that's it. And then starting off, we have our first match of the night. It is the women's first qualifiers match for Money in the Bank with Alexa Bliss, Michin, and Chelsea Green. We had a little backstage segment with Chelsea Green and Michin, and also Alexa Bliss, who I loved it because she was standing right behind Abby Fire and just scared the living shit out of her. Just how she is right now with this new character she's going on. That's semi-white-ish family still, whatever you want to call it. Just scared them. But we have our starting off the first match. Michin hit with a super kick on Green. A lot of competitiveness coming up from this match. But ultimately, Alexa Bliss did defeat Chelsea Green and Michin. I was happy for it. We saw Sister Abigail, the DDT, on Michin. As much as I do love Michin, right now is not the time to throw her into the Money in the Bank. They're definitely going to be a slow build. I think she's working her way. She's still in the mid-card, but I want to see her get the mid-card title before we launch her to the Money in the Bank status. But after that, we had a little bit of the backstage thing later on the line where Alexa Bliss was talking to Charlotte, and they were just kind of like talking, saying, "Did you think what I said?" And she goes, "No, I'm not going to be your friend," all that, and just brought up some history from NXT, and where we get a first notification that we have a new superstar joining SmackDown. One, Julia, who was on Monday Night Raw, tag team with Roxanne Perez. So they're splitting that tag team up, which I'm excited to get some more young blood into the women's division on the SmackDown side. But then our second match of the night, it's Faxion and versus DIY, which was caused to last week where DIY attacked Faxion after beating Street Profits. What can I say about this match? It's a banger of a tag team match. You've got two great tag teams going at it. DIY took control from a lot, but ultimately, the very end, the speed and the ability to work together from Faxion won. But after Faxion defeated DIY, DIY started attacking them, and Motor City Machine Guns, that still has a grudge against DIY, came out to assist. Solid match, like I said. They're definitely building up Faxion. As we find out later throughout the night, that they will be having a tag team match against the Street Profits, who will be 100% healthy for the tag titles. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this. I kind of still think it's a little too young or too early to give the, put the titles on them. Yeah, just still build them up. The SmackDown side of the tag team division is thick. I'm talking about thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Ooh. Or what did Brutus say about the Cheez-It from Taco Bell? That's thicker than Bailey and Nia Jax's booty. Oh. That's how thick this tag team division is on SmackDown. You've got a bunch of great tag teams. I still want to see a little bit more from the Street Profits, since we are getting them finally as a heel. And they're kind of weird right now. They're almost tweeners, but more on the heelish side. So I want to see them a little bit more heelish. But we've got a lot of heel tag teams, so I don't know what exactly they're going to do. Maybe it's time to throw it on Faxion, but I don't know. Well, I'm not booking this one, ladies and gentlemen. This one's a tricky situation, and I know C will probably come up with some crazy idea and talk some smack to me on our Sunday night podcast, so stay tuned for that too. Then our next match of the night is Aleister Black versus Carmelo Hayes. But before that, we had a backstage little segment of R-Truth, who was interviewed by Wade Barrett, and basically he was defending his childhood hero after taking an AA through the tables at the press conference at Backlash. And they brought up, why did you save him from the punts and all that? Just pure comedy gold from R-Truth. I love everything he does. And we got the official announcement that Cena versus him at R-Truth at Saturday's night main event. We come back. After that, we have Aleister versus Carmelo Hayes in the rematch from last week. It started relatively even, but Melo had a duck from Black mask kick and just kind of stayed in the match. Ultimately, it ended in a no contest. The Miz prevented from a clean ending by interfering. So I'm definitely interested more in this feud. You're definitely bringing back Aleister. It's going to be, I don't want to say a slow burn for him to get reacquainted with the WWE Universe. All us wrestling fans know him, but I feel like they're definitely trying to build him up to be something special. I am looking forward to see what they do with him. Then this leads us into our next qualifying match for the men's Money in the Bank. Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix. But before that, we have a video package of Damian Priest saying how he wants to get at Drew. He still has unfinished finish from Backlash. Drew coming out to the ring, cutting a promo. And basically, they announced the next match for Saturday night main event in a steel cage. If you play any of the WWE 2K games, you know this means this hopefully ends their feud, which it's been building up to this. We're about to get a banger of a match from these two gentlemen. I'm going to book it here. I'm going to say they're going to give the win to Drew, even though he got a Mania. But after that nasty bump he took, and they mentioned that how he got chokeslammed 15 feet to the head, and it really did hurt. I think they're going to give it to Drew, and they're going to start doing a process of launching Drew to the moon. He deserves to get some gold on him from everything he's done. It's time he has I don't want to say a lengthy, but a decent 2 to 3 month reign as a champion. But back to the qualifying match, we have Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Rey Fenix. A lot of history between Jimmy and Solo from the bloodline, them being actual brothers, and all that. Rey Fenix had a backstage moment with Andrade, saying how he was in WrestleMania and ultimately didn't have his WrestleMania moment, but he had a taste. He had ultimately a taste of what WWE is, and he wants to keep chasing more of that and finally get that big moment at WrestleMania. So going on, the match is a lot of high-flying maneuvers from Rey Fenix. Jimmy's in there as well. But ultimately, it was Solo Sikoa for the win, which I thought was a meh. I was kind of rooting for Rey Fenix. I'll see who the rest of the competitors are going to be in for Money in the Bank before I say meh on Solo, because it could be something great with Solo. But after Solo did win the match, we had a surprise entrance of LA Knight coming out and attacking everyone from that bloodline. Nick Aldis comes out and says, "You guys want a match? Fine, I'll give you a match. LA Knight versus JC Mateo tonight. You're making your debut." Which ultimately I thought it was kind of a blowish debut. I don't know if it was the fact that they don't have a ring entrance song for him. He didn't have any, for JC Mateo, didn't have any of that. He didn't have any ring gear. LA Knight was still in some ring gear, but not in his regular ring gear. He didn't have the vest. He just had, I would say, some hoochie daddy gym shorts on with his boots, his knee pads, one of his shirts that, the short sleeve cut off, all of that, but didn't have his fingers taped. So the match kind of felt meh, especially if you're going to build up JC, who is a fantastic athlete who, like they already stated, like Joe Tessitore, 04 Olympian, Luchador Underground, amazing athlete in there, watches matches on YouTube, wrestling in Japan and all that. But ultimately, for his first match, Mateo did defeat LA Knight with his move. Give me a second. I get lost it, but I know it was, I think, a toss of the islands or something like that, which he is Samoan, which honestly should be called an acapella, but I'm not here to argue geographics and all that geographic stuff, whatever, what do I know? Now leads us to our main event of the night. Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. This is due to Nia Jax beating Jade Cargill last week. And before we had the match, we had a little brief backstage thing with Tiffany Stratton and Jade, where Jade says, "I don't care if you win or Nia wins, I am going to eventually come for that women's championship." And Tiffany said, "Don't worry, I'm going to keep my eye out on you." Jade's going to be entering into the Money in the Bank. And in the background, we could see Naomi just staring at them all creepy, like just still having that grudge on Jade from all the past incidents and the feud they have going on. But their match goes on. Tiffany hit a few moves on Nia and all that. Then we had some interference from Naomi with a chair coming out. But then Jade came out to attack Naomi and basically just cleared that coverage. But that chair played an important role there. After all the interference and all that, Tiffany Stratton hit her prettiest moonsault on Nia Jax, and she kicked out, which is the first time that anyone has kicked out from the previous moonsault from the NXT roster, Raw, and SmackDown roster. So that was a big momentum. I thought for a moment she was going to lose, but then Nia Jax starting, build up the momentum, hit a Samoan spike on the not spike, slam on the table. Samoan drop. I do apologize. I am tired. I've been working about a crap ton of hours for overtime, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. But then Nia thought she secured the win after she did the Annihilator, and it was a pretty nasty Annihilator. Tiffany was trying to slam her, but Nia kind of jumped and just landed on her, and it wasn't clean where she normally grabs the ropes now, kind of like Yokozuna, kind of to help protect the wrestler. But not Tiffany grabbed the rope at the 2 count. Nia thought she won, kind of grabbed the belt, doing a heelish check to roll back in. Ref grabbed the belt while the ref was distracted. She grabbed the chair. Tiffany drop kicked her with that chair in the face, then hit her with the previous moonsault and to secure the win. And at the very end of the match, you had blood tripping down Nia's face. I thought it was an entertaining match here. I know C's a hater of Nia Jax, but Nia put on a fantastic match with Tiffany Stratton. Those two have great chemistry in the ring amongst them two. It's definitely, building up the Jade and Naomi stuff. Just continue some of that. I was a little annoyed. I think we just wanted to see a couple more matches themselves without interfering with Tiffany Stratton stuff. But ultimately, I thought it was a great match. Pure cinema there with it, and especially Tiffany retaining the championship. So I'm interested to see what her next feud is, because you still got Charlotte in the background. You got potentially Alexa Bliss, and we're in Money in the Bank season. Whoever wins is definitely going to be hunting down either Io Sky or her. So it's definitely a fun time right now in WWE. But that's the end of our show. Like I said, my name is Fritos. I am the host of the Friday Night SmackDown. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We finally hit 16K subscribers on YouTube. Like I've told people before, my personal goal is to hit 10 trillion. I don't know if there's 10 trillion people in the world, but guess what? We are going to try to hit that goal because I said so. So, like, share, and subscribe. Share it to your coworkers that you don't like. Share it to your grandma. Share it to your brother, sister, aunt, mom, dad, whoever. If they love wrestling or not, we like to have a good time and communicate. And make sure to leave a comment on what you guys thought of tonight's SmackDown. And we apologize, but I have been your host for the night. I hope you have a great weekend. Also, remember, we have shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday, and of course this Friday. But thanks for tuning in, and have a great night. Bye.